Hello guys, let's continue our sea voyage with a paper ship. Hopefully we finished the most difficult part, on my opinion, hull, which included cardboard frame and colorized covering. It's SMS M-54 German Minesweeper from Great War period. Journal with such a kit from Avangard in 1:200 scale. While the previous stage of works was the most difficult, now it should be easier to proceed with this kit. So we can install colorized deck section, but before we have here vertical section, and what interesting, not all details are here just printed. Doors, for example, they represented as a separate details. We have to paint them on the edges with the help of gray paint. And when ready, we can proceed with the main deck section. Here is also printed some wood parts, and it's convenient to use here glue for paper, for example like this one from Uhu, but the PVA glue or wooden one also might be a good solution. So I cover the whole detail with the glue, but not too much, and then apply this detail on its place. Hopefully connection here is okay. Next we can try with the superstructure, where pipe and boats would be located. These frames are part of the inbox set, and that's great, because we have all stuff needed to build this kit in one place, while except basement, and we have to think about it. Sheathing part was banded, and with the help of glue it can be mounted on the frame detail. When ready we can install superstructure on the deck, but it's better to apply several smaller details like doors we worked previously. Additional gray paint on the edges from the top. It would be useful if later some gaps appear during the connection of upper covering detail. And now finally we can install that covering detail. The installation process wasn't complicated, but in fact we received gaps from the front and rear sides, which are not too much visible, but as an experiment I decided to improve the view of these parts with the modeling putty, so I decided to fill that gaps. This Vallejo putty not so good for plastic kits, in my opinion, but in this case it works good, because it can be easily removed, the excess of this putty. And when ready we will paint it with a grey color, and I decided to repeat the same maneuver with the front section. Flexible tape helps here. As a result there are still several white spots visible, which I will repaint later. And I think that's better view than previously. Also there would be located railings and maybe some other details, so in general here's everything okay. And when big details ended on this stage of work, we can move forward to the small one. We have, according to schema, stairs and handrails. Stairs we can find in the kit, in the colorized parts. But they are too small, so we have to be patient during assembling work. Decided to use one more glue from Uhu, twist and glue, transparent glue, but it would be okay if you use here PVA or super glue gel. As for handrails, we can find them in templates that allows us to crop the details from metallic wires. Well, it isn't the most difficult part here. We can bend it step by step. For easier work we can fix this wire with modeling tape. The bigger problem is that smaller connective details. So how we can do that? One option is to take this template and use it like a meta template and drill holes inside the superstructure and insert there the small connection wires, and then glue that small pieces to main handrail part. Another option is to glue all detail together in one piece with the help of super glue gel and with several pieces of metallic wire. This option, I guess, much more complicated, but you can try it. By the way, it seems that there are visible points for mounting, for drilling, so we don't need to use that paper template for drill holes. Except details on upper side of the ship, we have several details from the bottom part, which looks not so good, but yes, that side is not too much visible, so it can be, and then return back to the most interesting section. We have here frames, additional frames for Wheelhouse, also covering details, and here's printed minor details. Some of them will be covered with additional reliefed pieces. That wall, I decided to improve it a little bit by replacing the printed portholes with the transparent stuff. And while this experiment, in my opinion, was successful, I upgraded all other portholes here in the Wheelhouse. And as a result, we have almost finished this cabin Wheelhouse. Also installed handrails we worked earlier, and some other details. And step by step this kit received more and more details, and next time we can assemble, for example, rear platform, pipe, maybe some front guns. Well, a lot of work needed to be done. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this video, this episode. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye.